Happy holidays, everyone. I'm your host, Nikita Ross. It's been a while since I've been here. My last podcast was on November 4th, and I did not think I would wait until December 14th to do another one. I was going to take a week break, and 1 week turned into 2 weeks, then 3 weeks, and I made myself do it today. I said, you know what? You have to do it today because I didn't want to wait until 2020 to do my next podcast. Again, it was unintentional. So excuse me for the break without warning you guys, but it was a much needed break. Um, my podcast title today is New Beginnings. New Beginnings. And I thought about this podcast title because, I'm thinking about the new year. The new year, how we get excited every year about the new year. And I feel like I have the same momentum, new year, new things. And my question is, why do we have to wait till the new year? And I'm not just saying that to you, I'm saying it to myself. And a new beginning can start any time. It can start any time. For instance, to me, I feel like this is a new season of my Fearless Female podcast. This is a new beginning, and it's December 14th, so it's not quite the new year. It's not even the beginning of a new month or a new week. So we can start at any time. And I guess a new beginning is so important to me right now because I feel like I just started with a new beginning. My new beginning started on September 20th of this year. September 20th of this year, I did something that I did not think I would do. I sold my house that I lived in for 15 years. 15 years. It may not seem like a long time to some people, but when we purchased that house, our goal was to buy the house, pay it off for 15 years, and the house was going to be a part of my retirement package. Meaning, once the house was paid for, I knew I could retire because, your home is your most expensive thing that you actually buy, right? And I feel like, I could retire and hustle the light bill. No, for real, JJ can handle all of that. But, my new beginning started on September 20th. I did something that I did not see in a deck of cards. Selling my house, which is a part of my dream of 15 years to pay it off and, be debt free. Well, I actually paid the house off in January of this year. So for 8 months, I had to pay for a house. But in the midst of the 8 months, I ended up dealing with a private personal storm. And I say a private personal storm because all of a sudden a lot of turmoil happened in my life that shifted a whole lot of things and changed the whole paradigm of the way I thought things would go, right? And so new beginning for me, meaning just a new attitude, new lease on life. The selling of the house meant a whole lot. Meant, wow, you have a dream, your dream manifests, the house got paid off, but dreams change. And it's okay if things change midstream, right? But not only that, I did a whole lot of new things. I started changing the way I thought. Things that I thought I had to have, I didn't have to have anymore. And the reason why I sold the house, because that's $1 million question, was I just wanted to be debt free. I needed a new beginning. We were so bombarded with credit card bills and outstanding debts from different business ventures that did not work out so well that we just wanted a clean slate. I downsized my car. I got a smaller car, cheaper car note. Not only that, I stopped doing some things that I love, like buying $1,000 shoes or buying all these expensive handbags. I just decided that things needed to be done a little differently. And I'm saying this today, I'm sharing this with you guys because I want you to know that a new beginning can occur at any time. At any time. And I feel so refreshed, so rejuvenated with the changes that have been made. And I'm so glad I didn't have to wait another 3 months from September 20th to January 1st to make this new beginning start. And I also want you to know that, when you start over, it's okay. It's okay. I found myself throughout the process of selling my home and starting over, I started second guessing. Oh my God, is this the right thing? Do you want to start all over again? And this and that. But when I tell you peace of mind is priceless, peace of mind is worth more than any piece of real estate on earth, just to know that I don't owe anybody, that just feels good. I don't owe any debtors, that just feels good within itself. To know that my overhead has reduced, that feels good within itself, To know that now I don't have to work from can to can't. Sometimes we work extra hard because we have so much pressure and so many things over our heads that we have to go hard. I just feel so relaxed and a weight is lifted off of me. So whatever you're dealing with, I'm sharing this with you because whatever you're dealing with and whatever decision that you're fighting with right now that's hard or something that you've been doing for a long time, it's okay if you have to start over. Remember this, you're not starting from scratch. Now you're starting with experience. You know what to do different this time around. You know how to do things a different way this time around. I think that's imperative. The $1 million question is, Nikita, you sold your house. Did you get a bigger one? Is it better? Nope, it's not bigger. It's not better. It's actually 100 square feet smaller. It's not. It is. Because, again, I don't want to go out and get more debt. Getting a bigger house, more square footage, a bigger mortgage, that's just more debt. And that's what I'm running from. So it didn't make any sense to get out of one situation and get into a whole nother, big debt ball or debt hole. So no, it's not. It's not. But a lot of times we find ourselves doing certain things to impress people because people expect us to do bigger. People expect us to do better. Nope. Actually, if I could have got a house 1,000 square feet smaller, I would have. But it's too many people live with me, so we couldn't have done that. And it's funny because God really worked on me throughout that process of selling the house. Once we sold the house on September 20th, we were supposed to move in another house on October 8th. Well, the deal fell through on the house. And to me, this house was perfect. It was ideal. It had a mother-in-law suite at the bottom for my grandmother because she's getting tired of the stairs. And every time they kept saying, with me being self-employed, okay, you need to pay off all your taxes. You need to pay off this. You need to pay off that. And I was like, man, by the time I pay off every single thing, y'all trying to have me broke back at square one. I wasn't trying to be there. And I said, you know what, God, in this stage of my life right now, anything that I have to force, I don't want it. Not that I don't want to work hard for things, but anything I have to force and I feel like I'm just going above and beyond and you're trying to make me jump through hoops, I don't want it. And that don't just mean houses. That means friendships. I don't want friendships that I got to work hard for and jump through hoops. It also means, even clients. Clients at the salon. I don't want to even deal with them if I got to jump through hoops and, turn tricks for it. So at this point in my life, I don't want to do things that I have to force. And so when that didn't work out, we ended up moving in my dad's house from September 20th to November 30th. So we lived in a 2-bedroom apartment with 5 people for 70 days. That's a long time, right? I haven't lived in 1,000 square feet in over 15 years. And when I did, it was only 2 people, not 5. But it was a very humbling experience because I can tell you this. That's when I realized that you think you need this, you think you need that, and you can live with so much less. I realized that we can live with less. And the funny thing about it is, in that smaller space, I felt like my family and I, we were tighter. We were more connected because we didn't have space to elude and evade each other, right? We had to be close. You had to walk past somebody every day when you live in 1,000 square feet. You had to. You didn't have a room to retreat to because you're sharing rooms with people. And it was just an eye-opening experience for me. And so I texted my husband one day and I was sitting in class. I said, you know what? I want us to do more family things. I want us to do more family things. I always have all these personal goals that I have for myself, and I'm an executor. I try to achieve a lot of those goals that are on paper, right? I said, but, being in this house, being together, make me realize that we need more family goals as a family. So I told him, even though the kids and I pray in the morning on our way to school, when I take them to school in the morning, I was like, we need to just have a family prayer time, just dedicated for the entire family. Not just, Jeremy and JJ praying together, or me and the kids praying together, or me and Granny praying together. We all need to come together as one unit in the house and designate a prayer time. And I'm not necessarily saying it has to be every day, but at least once a week. He agreed to that. Then I also said, you know what? Another thing I want us to do, when we found the next place that we were going to move in, this neighborhood had a beautiful trail. And don't get me wrong, the other neighborhood we lived in probably had about 10 beautiful trails. But remember, mindset is everything. I went in that space. But now that I'm dealing with less, I'm appreciating more, right? I'm appreciating more things. And so I said, the new neighborhood has a trail right in front of the house. I want me and the kids to start working out at least 1 or 2 times a week. Let's teach them the habits of working out. If they get it at a young age, it'll be easy for them to work out at an older age. Because the habits you start young, when you become an adult, are easy. Working out for me, I'm going to be honest, is a chore. It's something that I hate. I don't like doing. I've always been a small frame woman. And I always just had a good metabolism. And now that I'm 40 and my metabolism is slowing down, I don't like it. And I wish I loved working out. I wish I was one of those people who said, oh, when I don't go to the gym for 3 or 4 days, I feel miserable. I don't. I hate sweating. I like to look cute. And even though I do hair, I don't want to do my hair every single morning leaving the gym. But back to the issue at hand. So I said to him, let's go start instilling some workout habits in the kids. It's like, cool, that'll be good. And not only that, that'll be great bonding time, right? And then another thing I said, let's start. He and I, we're good about dating each other. We're good about dating each other. But I said, we need to do more family dates. Family dates where we're all together. Yeah, the kids have their play dates, the things we do with the kids. But it's rare that he and I, Jada, Jeremy, Tasha, my grandmother, even my mom and Ralph and, my extended family, we monthly go maybe like to Top Golf. It has to be somebody's birthday. I'm like, let's do more family dates. And then last but not least, it was one more thing I said. Oh, and this is a funny one. It's funny because I hate cooking. But being in the house, again, being in that small 1,000 square feet, being such a close, tight-knit family, being forced to be forced to tight-knit family, I said, you know what? I love going out to eat. Anybody who knows me, anybody who follows me, know I love out to eat. I can go out to eat 7 days a week. And I like to do fine dining. And I thought about it. I said, why do I love to do fine dining so much? It's the social aspect of it. I love the atmosphere, don't get me wrong. I love just sitting and running my mouth at the table. It's like, I don't know. I just love to go out to eat. And of course, I love the cocktails and the conversation. And I like to be served. So I told my husband, I said, you know what? I love to go out to eat, but I know something that'll be great for our family. At home, if you ever think about eating, I can't speak for your household, but I can speak for mine. They cook often in my house, my grandmother and my husband. But everybody eats at their own time. The two kids eat together. JJ sits in the bed, eating in his room. Granny sits on the sofa, she eats. And I come in when I eat, and I stand at the bar, standing up, and I eat my food standing up like a barbarian. Like, I don't know how to sit down at the table, right? So I said, let's plan to eat together at a set time, all of us at a table, like Thanksgiving, twice a month. Now, that's not a big deal. But those are things that I think will bring our family closer, allow our kids to have some things to cling on to when they get older, and some things that they can share with their children. But it all came from being in that apartment for 70 days, that 1,000 square feet. It did. It came from that. I don't even think I would have came up with these ideas if I wasn't in that space. So I thank God for this year. This year has been a very disruptive year, a year of a lot of change, a year of a lot of faith walking. But I needed this year because I was too complacent. I didn't realize how complacent I was. I was living a life on autopilot. It worked, so let's keep going. Let's keep it going. And he had to come in and disrupt some things and make me see things totally different because I was used to everything just working out. Everything just going to be just fine. And so I'm excited about the new year. I'm excited about my new family goals. I'll be sharing with you guys over the next year how my family goals are working out. I'm excited that, God has me in a new space, headspace, and a new space. I'm excited about all the newness thereof. And I'm just challenging you, whatever you want to start new, whatever you need to do new, write it down and make it plain. Write it down and make it plain. If it's a new job, if it's a new going back to school, if it's, being debt free, make it happen. It's never too late. It's never too late. I found myself even going through all this change, questioning things like, God, I feel like I'm regressing. I feel like I'm going backwards, How do you accomplish all this stuff in your 20s, all this stuff in your 30s, all the stuff that you worked to build up so you can be established in your 40? I feel like I was tearing it all down, And I'm like, come on, Keitha, you too blessed to start, questioning yourself. But you do that. And I'm sharing that with you because I'm human too. I have doubtful moments. I question things. I'm like, what is going on? I'm like, how do you turn 40? How do you turn 40 and you feel like you're clueless? Like you just wondering and, just lost. I really felt lost for a minute. I really did. I really felt lost for a minute because God took something away from me that I was comfortable with. My ability to do hair, my ability to make money on the fly. And he said, no, you're going to sit out 3 months. And I don't want to talk about this hand thing so much while I'm running in the ground, but I'm saying he had to do that to me in order for me to see some things differently because I was comfortable. Maybe I was starting to think that everything was about me, about my gifts, you know? He was like, nope, 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 nope. Don't forget where all your blessings come from. Don't forget who gave you that gift. And so I just want you to know it's okay to be human. It's okay to have feelings of up and down. It's okay to be doubtful. It's okay to be fearful. It's okay to be clueless. How about this? I'm clueless about 2020. Let me be perfectly honest. The only thing I know that's happening in 2020 is the Fearless Female Retreat. I know that for a fact. But as far as occupational goals, professional goals, I don't even know. I'm not even clear on my financial goals. I'm going to be honest. I'm not even clear on that. And I still may be finalizing the things in January. But I tell you this, it's okay to be clueless, but we just can't stay clueless for too long. That's what we can't do. We cannot stay clueless for too long. And I think for me, I have worried myself to death from March 31st to September that I'm just happy to be free and not overthinking things, if that makes sense. So I'm taking a sabbatical. I took a sabbatical. Some things I'm just not going to worry about. I'm just not. I want to be free and lightheaded. I carry the weight of the world on my shoulders. Believe it. You may not even believe it, but I do. I carry a lot on my shoulders. And because I want to. It ain't nobody's fault but mine. But because I want to. But just like I decided to carry that burden, I decided to relinquish it. And so right now, I'm just kind of being happy-go-lucky. And so that I'm going to be honest. That's how the podcast, I missed 5 weeks. 1 week turned into 2. Because I just wanted to be free. I don't want to be bound to a schedule, running in here, running there. You know, life is a big appointment book for me. I'm always running to the next place, running to the next place. And I'm going to be honest, I enjoyed these last 5 weeks. I feel refreshed, revived. But we have an amazing season ahead. I have a list of new guests that will be coming next year. I'm all geared up for the retreat. Some of the speakers for the retreat will be coming, sharing with us. So I'm ready. And sometimes you got to take a pause. You got to take a break and rejuvenate. It's needed. You can't keep fueling on E. You have to be refueled. So you can't keep putting out, giving your best when you don't have anything to give. So maybe I was just tapped out and didn't even know it. And now I'm refreshed. I'm ready to share. I have so much to share with you guys. So many ideas, so many topics. My next podcast, I don't know when it's going to be, but it's coming soon. It's called Figuring It Out at 40. I have a lot of podcast listeners who are about 35, between the age of 35 and 45. I know a lot of my listeners are between that age. And so you guys are going to love this podcast. I'm going to get about 3 to 4 women together, and we're going to talk about figuring out at 40. And figuring out at 40 is for the women who are on the cusp of 40. So you can be 35, like I said, and even in your 40s, and you're still figuring it out, like what is going on. And I came up with this podcast because I was talking to friends. We were at dinner one night, and dinner is my favorite place, right? We were at dinner, and it was just like this aha moment. I don't know who said what, but one person said one thing and was like, you know what? I'm just tired. I'm just tired of figuring it out. And literally, it was like a domino effect. Like, I'm tired too. I'm in a funk too. I know I'm blessed, but I'm in a funk. And it all came about the fact that we're 40. We've accomplished so much. Think about it. You're married now. You have 2 kids. You have a house. You have a thriving career. So according to society, you're successful. But when you checked all those boxes from 20, 30, now you're 40, you checked all those boxes, it's kind of like what's next. And when you're a box checker and you don't have any boxes to check, you start feeling kind of odd and awkward, right? What's next? When you're the manager, like, now am I supposed to be the CEO? If I have a master's, am I supposed to go back and get my doctorate? It's like we're always looking for that next thing. So figuring out at 40 is going to be an awesome, awesome podcast. I'm excited about it. And if you would like to be on that podcast, let me know about figuring out at 40. If you would love to share your story or share what you're going through. Because even for me, figuring out at 40 is, look, I'm going to be a new homeowner all over again. Like, who would have thought I would have to be a new homeowner in my 40s? Not me. I was supposed to be done. So that was one thing. Secondly, who would think that I feel like I'm restarting my beauty career over again? No, I'm not starting from afresh, but when I was off of work, my clientele did decline tremendously. I put like this, I'm definitely making a half to a third less than what I was making before my accident. So just imagine if you made $100,000 a year and now you make 50, you know? And so now I find myself rebuilding, trying to think of ways to rebuild my clientele. And I feel like I'm starting over because I haven't been at that number, and that ain't my number, but I'm just using an example. The number that I'm at, I haven't been at that number, guys, in 17 years. The number that I'm at today, that is the number I was at in 2003. 2002, 2003. So I feel like I'm starting over, you know? And it's because now we have social media. You have so many amazing stylists out there. They didn't have to wait on me. They didn't have to wait on me. They're getting their hair done. It's looking good. And ain't no hate, ain't no shade. And so I got to figure out ways to not say, man, I don't regress. I'm in 2003 all over again. Instead of saying that, say, no, love the clients that I have, you know, give them all the attention they need, try to rebuild, and I can be back where I was all over again. And also just looking at some other investment strategies, some other opportunities, you know. So, again, I'm figuring out at 42. I'm figuring out at 40 also. So, a new homeowner, kind of took a little backslide in my career and my finances. And then not only that, another thing, just figuring out what's next. I've been doing hair since I was 14. It's the only career I've ever had. Like, am I capable and able to do something as lucrative, starting all over again? I'm looking at some other opportunities. I'm looking at some other things. Not saying that I'm going to stop doing hair, but I just want to look at some other ways to generate income and revenue and not be a one-trick pony. You're supposed to have 7 streams of income anyway. So just looking at some other opportunities available. So again, do not be afraid of change. Don't be afraid of new challenges. Don't be afraid of starting over, because trust me, I'm living testament. It ain't that bad. It's not that bad. And I was battling, going back and forth, but I'm all smiles. When I tell you that burden, that load has been lifted off of me, I am the heaviest I've ever been in my life. I'm 162 pounds. I'm used to being 130, 140. But I tell you this, even though I'm the heaviest in weight, I feel the lightest I've felt in a very, very, very long time. Peace of mind is so priceless. It really is. And so get ready for 2020. Start thinking about you. But in the midst of thinking about you, I also think about the amazing things that you accomplished in 2019. I accomplished amazing things in 2019. I did. Even though some things didn't go the way I wanted it to go, I accomplished amazing things. Number one, I had a whole 3-month vacation that I didn't plan, that I ended up actually enjoying. But number two, I kicked off an amazing retreat. Yes, I'm calling it amazing. Had amazing speakers, amazing attendees, amazing sponsors and vendors, and I'm about to do it again. I'm going to do it again this summer, June 12th through the 14th, 2020. Please join me at the Woodlands Marriott. You can register online at thefearlessfemale.org. Register online at thefearlessfemale.org. Registration is $250, and the retreat is $899 for double occupancy. But I tell you this, you will not regret it. And I'm so passionate about this retreat. If you attend this retreat for $899 and you don't feel like you got your money's worth, I will refund you your money. That's how confident I am about this retreat. Because I know that when you leave this retreat, you really going to owe me some money. You really going to owe me some money. I received so much great feedback last year about the retreat, and I went in not knowing a thing. So now, after having one retreat under my belt, having great feedback, learning some things throughout the way, I know this retreat is going to be even bigger and better. So I would love for you to join me. I only have 60 guests that I would like to come. This retreat would not be huge, would not be big. I only want 60 attendees to come. And the reason being is because I want it to be intimate. I want it to be intimate enough that we don't get lost in the sauce. I want you to be able to interact with everybody that's there. And I believe in connectivity. I want you to be able to talk to people and remember some faces before you leave. So it's going to be an intimate experience just like last time. You're going to learn a lot. I have definitely tailored it for every woman. We're going to be talking about your future. We're going to be talking about finances. We're going to be talking about family. We're going to be also talking about just being fearless within itself. We're going to talk about friends. We're going to talk about a lot of different things at this retreat. We're going to talk about faith. What does your faith walk look like? And it's the fundamentals of life. What are the fundamental things that we need to keep thriving and surviving? Health. Yeah, health, nutrition, good sleep, self-care. So we're going to be covering all of these things at the retreat next year. So I look forward to seeing you there. I'm Nikita Ross. Thank you for joining me this Saturday, and I will be back again next week. Have a great day. Bye-bye.